Hi everyone! For my presentation today, I decided to talk about bovine filariasis. My main news source is an article from Farm Progress, which discusses this growing threat and how it affects cattle herds. I chose this topic because I'm very interested in animal health and I also own and work with cattle, and so I just thought it was a very interesting topic. And as this is growing in the livestock industry, it is becoming a very large concern. I also think this topic is relevant to everyone because even if you don't work with cattle, this disease can affect agriculture, food production, and the economy, which I think is a very important thing to understand. Before I get into the biology aspect of it, I want to talk about the scientific integrity of my news source. Although Farm Progress is a news publication, it specializes in specifically agricultural topics and bases its articles on information from veterinarians, researchers, and other experts. Even so, I still fact-checked them and compared the information with information from the University of Arkansas, it publishes research-based information, which helped me confirm what was accurate and how trustworthy it all was. One of the biggest things that I learned about this disease is that it is caused by a microscopic protozoan parasite, and it is called Theileria orientalis. Unlike many diseases that we know, it is not spread by bacteria or a virus, it is actually a parasite, and it enters a cow's bloodstreams, and it infects its red blood cells, which is not good, obviously. Another important thing that I learned is how the disease spreads. Bovine filariasis is spread primarily by ticks, specifically the Asian longhorn tick. And when an infected tick feeds on a cow, the parasite will enter the bloodstream and it allows it to spread to new herds that haven't been bit. Doesn't need to be bit, it just spreads, unfortunately. One reason this disease is so serious is because of what it does inside of the cow. The parasite attacks and destroys red blood cells, which we all know are very important for carrying oxygen throughout the body. Not good. And once they're destroyed, the cow will develop anemia, and that can lead to symptoms such as weakness, weight loss, pale gums, reduced milk production, and even like abortions in pregnant cows, which is not good. Another takeaway from the article that I have is that there is no vaccine or specific treatment for bovine filariasis in the United States, which is not good. Preventing tick bites is the main thing that farmers are doing to prevent this because otherwise they don't really have a good way of treating it. An unfortunate thing about all of the symptoms is that they match anaplasmosis in cows, the symptoms of it, and so farmers will think that their cows only have anaplasmosis, which in fact is another tick-derived disease, but it is instead filaria, which is a lot worse and it is not easy to treat. So it is very destructive in herds. My final takeaway that I have is that bovine filariasis doesn't just affect individual animals, it affects a very large impact on the entire industry. Because sick cows will lose weight or die, there are a lot of financial losses for producers. And as the disease continues to spread into new areas, people are trying to figure out ways to improve just surveillance, control tick populations, and protect cattle herds because there is no actual vaccine at the moment. In conclusion, bovine filariasis is an emerging disease and shows that a tiny little parasite can cause a very large impact on animal health and agriculture. And I think that learning about diseases like this is very important for us because it affects us, not just the farmers. And for my multiple choice, I just have a very simple question. What is the main organism that causes cows to contract bovine filariasis? Is it a flea, a tick, a mosquito, or a horsefly? A, B, or C, or D? Yeah. Which one is it? I'll leave it in the comments. Yeah, thank you for watching.